America is tired of hand-wringing and indecisiveness and weakness in the Oval Office. We need to have strength and decision-making and authority back in the Oval Office, and that is why today I am proud to announce my candidacy for the Republican nomination for President of the United States of America.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, joining us now is Paul Mulshine, columnist at the Newark Star-Ledger. Hello, Paul.
Hey, how you doing, Steve?
I'm doing well. Thanks for joining us. You know what gets me? First of all, a lot about the announcement, but it was just a week or so ago, or maybe 2 Sundays ago, on the one of the national shows on TV, and he said everything is in place except I haven't decided yet because I have to see if it's in my heart, if I really want it in my heart. I mean, he was obviously lying then, even before this announcement. I said the day after he said that, if you don't know by now if it's in your heart, then please go away.
He loves that histrionic sort of thing, but of course he's wanted to run since, I mean, his entire 2013 re-election was dedicated to running for president. Right. It was in his heart then, so it must have dropped out of his heart right around the time of Bridgegate, right? Something else got in there.
What about the venue today, Paul? Going back to Livingston, his high school where he graduated, and he was class president right on through. It allows people to bring up Bridgegate because another key figure in Bridgegate also went to that high school. Was it a smart choice?
Yeah, that's a good. And the other thing about it was the last big rally that was held there was the kickoff of John Corzine's toll hike scheme. His first rally was there, so it's not a good history at Livingston. But having said that, you know, he gets this great like carnival atmosphere, the protesters, the supporters. You know, it's just he does turn these things into real political events, and then people I talk to, even in Pennsylvania, we're seeing it on the news. I mean, live. So, you know, you got to hand it to him. The guy knows how to get a crowd. Well,
that's for sure. Okay. In his speech, what struck me when he gave the speech at the Reagan Library in January or February of 2012, and then what he did at the convention when he gave the keynote. He blames, today he specifically blamed both parties in Washington. And I had Congressman Peter King on earlier who said, no. There's no equality there. It's 90% Democrats who are to blame in Congress. And he talked about we never would have gotten past the Revolutionary War if we didn't compromise. I still don't know who we compromised with to win the Revolutionary War. But is he overplaying that, and is he alienating some Republicans along the way?
Well, he's running. That was his front-runner strategy from the beginning, that he was going to be the guy who could run to the center. He was the guy, the blue state governor who could win, you know, the red states and the blue states. And he still has his front-runner strategy, even though he's not the front-runner. But that was it. You know, that was, I'm the guy who can win the election. And he's sticking to it. And I think everybody in the know thinks that if Bush falters, the big money guys, that's what the big money guys want to see. They want to see the compromise guy. So I think he's setting himself up to be the guy who's in the middle, who can win in November with the big money guys if Bush falters.
What about the scandal? What about Bridgegate? I mean, where are we with that? I know that a few weeks back we had not guilty plea. We had some remarks, some comments from some of those involved. But when is that going to come to a head? In the middle of the presidential campaign?
Yes, that should be fun. I mean, those trials have to occur, and when those trials occur, there's going to be all sorts of dirt. And Christie was in the thick of at least planning to get all those Democratic mayors. The one Democratic mayor, of course, they didn't get was the mayor of Fort Lee. So that is going to come back to haunt him, and he just is just hoping it won't, but it will.
Well, that's what I was going to say. You know a lot more about Bridgegate than I do. Is this kind of proof that there's really nothing there, or if there was, would he be dumb enough to run anyway? And what about his financial backers? He's got to be telling them and assuring them there's nothing there.
He's saying he did a pretty good job of setting the bar low in saying that as long as I didn't know about it in advance, I'm off the hook. And the national media kind of bought that. I mean, I didn't buy that because he was in on the cover-up, but that was a line he sold, and you know, he's quite a salesman, and he got people to believe that. And so unless he gets Wildstein getting up there saying, I talked with him during Bridgegate about Bridgegate, that would be a real problem. Otherwise, I think he's going to say, you know, nothing happening here, move on, people.
What about the temper and the confrontational style? I think a lot of people do like that to an extent. Does he have to walk a fine line during the campaign with that?
Well, you know, I think in New Hampshire, it's such retail politics. You know, he could win New Hampshire with 100,000 votes. I mean, that's not even the vote we get in Bergen County. You know, that's 100,000 votes would probably make you the front runner for the Republican nomination if you won New Hampshire. And he seems determined to shake 100,000 hands. And I mean literally. Right. You know, you can go up there. He's up there all the time. He has these town halls. He gets hundreds of people, and he also gets a lot of TV. And so, you know, he's good in that regard. The temper thing won't be on display in New Hampshire. He'll be up there. He'll be in his nice guy mode, and he'll probably show a little flash of temper in the debate over some made-up thing or another, you know. Right. He'll yell at Rand Paul
just to get it out there, right? That I'm Chris Christie.
Yeah, another smart thing he's done. I mean, I'm very sympathetic.
Go ahead. We got 20 seconds. Go ahead, Paul. Go ahead.
He set himself up as the anti-Rand Paul, which is really smart because that'll keep him in debates. If every Rand Paul's going to be in the debates, so the anti-Rand Paul has to be in.
Paul, we'll speak to you early and often, as they say, as this progresses. Thank you very much.
Great. Thanks a lot for having me.
All right, Paul Mulshine, ladies and gentlemen. Up next, Jim Hoft of thegatewaypundit.com. Don't go away.